You are listening to the Honor and Conquer podcast with me, Dion Sekone-Fraser. Welcome to a very special episode of the podcast, everyone. So it's the night after the big event that is Mayweather versus McGregor. But before we get into the podcast, show is brought to you by GetOnnit. Go to honorandconquer.com/onnit and check out all the cool discounts that Honor and Conquer podcast listeners get. There's a cool one. There's actually two cool ones that are going at the moment where you can get a 30-count bottle of New Mood absolutely free if you've never tried it before. All you have to pay for is shipping, and it's only available here in the United States. And it's something that I use before I go to sleep. Megan actually likes the Onnit melatonin spray that they've got. I think it's pretty cool. I reckon it tastes like grapes, but it's meant to be lavender, the one that we've got. And the other one that they've just released at the start of this week, maybe even before 2 weeks ago, was the Shroom Tech Sport. And it's is now my favorite pre-workout supplement that I like to take. I can't remember. It utilizes oxygen and blood flow, something like that. Can't quite remember. I don't have my notes in front of me. But you can get a 28-count bottle for free as well if you've never tried it before. All you have to pay for is shipping, and that is also only available here in the United States. So if you want to try it, visit honorandconquer.com/onnit. Get all the cool stuff. And if you shop on Amazon like any other normal human being does, go to honorandconquer.com, scroll all the way to the bottom of the page, click the Amazon banner, and every purchase that you make, we get a little bit of a kickback that goes directly into our show. All right. Megan's here with me.
Hello.
Oh, man. That was a good fight. I thought it was a great fight.
Yeah, I think it was better than most people thought it was going to be.
I think so too.
I think it was better than I thought it was going to be.
I actually just read on Facebook now, Floyd's like Mayweather Senior or whatever his name was. He said that Conor's performance was pathetic. And I was like, oh, shut up. We took him to 10 rounds, but I mean is what.
Wait,
it is.
like Mayweather said that?
No, his
his dad or something.
Yeah.
Oh.
I was like, oh, he's just old.
Yeah.
Whenever anyone says stuff like that, I'm like, you're old. But before we get into that, I actually wanted to talk to Megan about
Cookie Monster.
Cookie Monster guy.
No.
There was another fighter on the card. I can't remember his name. But Jon Jones being stiffed again. For what is this, fourth time being stiffed for I
think it's the third time he's tested positive, but it's his fourth issue if you consider I think I'm right. I might be wrong, but I want to say it's 4 incidents.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Oh,
gross.
You're right. It's the fourth incident. I think this is going to be the third time he's been pulled from a fight, I think.
It's like the third time he's been tested positive. But I think I could be wrong. We might get a lot of little notes somewhere. But I think it's the fourth incident if you include the DUI or / hit and run.
Yeah, slash hit and run
of a pregnant lady.
Yeah. It's funny because Jeff, I forgot his name, Nowitzki or something like that. He's in charge of the the drug testing.
USADA. He's USADA.
USADA. That's right. USADA. But you've had past experiences with USADA, right?
Yes.
With rowing and everything like that.
Yes.
And there should be, from what you've told me anyway, there shouldn't be any excuse for that to even happen, to even come close to pissing hot, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's I don't know. I feel like USADA, they just show up. I mean, we heard the story about Jon Jones hiding under the ring, and clearly he's hiding things.
Yeah. And
this is part of his character. His not character as in made up character to sell fights. This is a part of who he is. It's not even I hate the excuse. I hate the excuse of, oh, well, he got rich when he was young. I hate that shit.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people who get rich when they're young, and you know what they do? They spend money on charities and like using their platform to do good things. They don't, but yeah, there are people who use it to snort cocaine, but I just hate that excuse.
Yeah, I hate
that. It's so gross.
I hate when age is I mean, there is definitely a thing that you learn through age, but I hate when age is the excuse all the time.
Yeah. But I'm sorry, I didn't answer the question about USADA.
I didn't give a fuck.
Oh, okay.
I didn't care.
Okay.
That's
But
right.
yeah, no, there's no excuse. It's not that hard. There's lists of like what you can and can't take.
What I hate the most, though, see, and that's the thing.
Yeah.
There are lists what you can and can't take. And from what I remember you telling me is that if you're going to take something, you should probably hit them up first before taking it. Is that right?
I mean, especially I feel like it sucks at the like Olympic level and like international competition level, because a lot of times these are people who it's not their full-time job. Like they don't have, they have coaches and they might have like nutritionists and a strength coach, but at the end of the day, like they don't have people who are dedicated themselves. Someone like Jon Jones has a posse of people that are meant to have his back. So when you say, oh, it was a tainted supplement or this or that, no, like you don't. There are literally people in his camp, I'm sure, that it's their job to like make sure that every little grain of whey protein is, that's at that level. If you're making millions of dollars, I just don't think that's an excuse. I don't think that's an excuse.
Yeah.
Like you should be aware of everything. So I just think it's bullshit.
Yeah.
If he was some like regional fighter who just happened to get caught, or even if it was like his first fight in the UFC and he got caught, like I would say, okay, like maybe he really truly didn't know and he took something he wasn't meant to.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry, at that level, you've got a team of people who it's their job to make sure that you pass things.
Yeah.
Like, and when people are like, oh, everyone in the sport is on steroids anyways, even then, get better doctors who can hide it. Like, because that's the thing, like, in like cycling and stuff, I remember having a conversation with someone who was a team doctor for an international cycling team. And he said to me, everyone is doing something that's illegal. Whoa. He was like, but like, he's like, my job is to like hide it. And so I won't say like, I won't say like what team, but he said that to me. He said basically everyone's probably doing something they're not meant to, but as like their doctor, it's my job to make sure they never get caught.
Dang.
I mean, this is pre Lance Armstrong. So, that may have changed by now. And I know like, in the rowing world, like we were really not encouraged to take a lot of things. So it's funny how from sport to sport it changes.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like if you tested positive in rowing, like you would almost be an outcast. Like no one will want to be near you.
How do you think, because he got found post-fight.
Yeah.
How long does anabolic steroids stay even in your system?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah. I couldn't speak to that because that's not something I've ever like looked into.
Yeah.
Like that's not, I don't think I've ever. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Man, to get it. The thing is that leading up to it, he probably was pissing clean. Or maybe, or afterwards, like he took a day off then. If you think, I don't know. I
don't know if that would do anything. I feel like it's because it's like a cycle, right? Like you take, I am not an expert on steroids. Yeah. But I, from what I understand, like you take it in cycles.
Yeah.
So like, I feel like taking it for one day wouldn't do anything for you.
Yeah, that's true.
So.
See, and this shows how much I fucking know because I don't know.
I think.
I have no.
I don't know. Idea. It just annoys me. Like at this point, like, again, if it were one time, okay. If it were two times, maybe.
Yeah. What I hate the most is that he was just when he got arrested, all that kind of shit. When he was being powerlifting, Jon Jones. Remember that? Remember there was like powerlifting and shit. He would do all these like seminars in high schools and tell them like the path that he was on and what he was given, what he did and how wrong he was. I hated all that because it's like, I mean, sorry, I didn't hate it. I was like, oh, that's cool. He got, hours to do community service and he's doing all this and maybe he has changed and, that happened again. And then he came back and it was like second time coming back and saying that, I did a lot of stupid stuff and again blaming the age thing and and now he pissed hot again and it's like it's all gonna be talk. I just hate how much talk it was.
Yeah. He's just gross.
And like people are gonna say, "Oh yeah, he still defeated DC, even if he was on steroids."
No.
Even if he was on cocaine, it's like it doesn't matter. Like it doesn't matter. You still, I mean, sure you beat him. That's great. I mean, yeah, and in the record books it's changed, but people still saw it. But like you're still ruining your career.
I reckon. It's funny. Someone else posted this, and I have to say I agree. I feel like if you go into the cage or the ring with roids in your system, you could be killing someone.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, I don't know how far that goes, but I feel like there needs to be more extreme, like laws against that in combat sports. Like if you're going in roided out of your brains, like that's not, and he may not have been like roided out of his brains, but still. Like you're in a sport where literally your job is to hurt someone, and there are athletes dying in the ring, in the cage, and that's just so not okay.
A lot lately.
Yeah. And that has obviously weight cutting procedures and all that stuff, but I just think, man, that is so disrespectful to your opponent to be doing that, because you're already training to hurt them. Yeah. To then give yourself that kind of advantage is just super fucked up.
I remember when we were watching the Embedded, and it was meant to be, DC versus Jones, and halfway through Embedded, Jones tests positive for drugs or something, and then DC just starts breaking down and crying. And I mean, the thing is like if you're an athlete or if you've been in fight sports in general,
any sport where you've dedicated yourself to it.
And then this fucking dummy has ruined, like you prepared for months and months and months to just this one guy, and then this one guy goes ahead and beats an absolute fucking prick and does the wrong thing. I don't blame DC for breaking down. Yeah. Like at all. Yeah. Because it's mentally draining.
I hate people that were giving him shit for crying and stuff. Yeah. Holy shit. Yeah. Like those are people who definitely never played sports, been inside the ring or a cage, like at all. Well, and let's for sure check out your like fragile masculinity if you're getting upset about somebody crying over something they've like dedicated their life to. Yeah. Like, come on. Seriously.
Yeah, those are really insecure masculine people.
Yeah. I love DC. I just think he's awesome.
I think DC's great. Yeah. When Cowboy Cerrone said that he hated DC, I was like, why? When Brendan Schaub was like, why? And Cowboy couldn't come up with a reason. It's like, I feel like it's the fashionable thing to just hate DC.
I don't get why people don't like him. Like in this whole like Jon Jones DC thing, like please explain to me why Jones is more attractive to people than DC. Like I feel like you can tell that DC works really hard. Like he's always working. He has a good heart. Like I just don't, when people say they don't like him, it just baffles me. Yeah. I don't get it. I think it goes back to people that have never actually played a sport themselves. I guess when I see DC, like I see the humanity in it. Yeah. When I look at Jon Jones, I see gross.
DC, At DC, I see the guy who's a professional. Like this is his job. Mm-hmm. Like I think a lot of fighters forget that that's their job. Like,
I think it's his person. I would go as far to say that. Like and that's why like he did break down and cry. Like it's in his fiber, like the fiber of his being to be a competitor. Yeah. And he just works so hard. He's a hard worker. Yeah. I'm not saying that Jon Jones isn't, but I'm just saying Jon Jones fucked up ridiculously bad. Yeah. But I think this is going to definitely taint the rest of his career. Like, I personally don't think he should have a career anymore. I think he should be blacklisted at this point.
You think so?
I mean, I am not an expert. But if I were in anyone's position to fight him, I wouldn't want to put, 3 months of my life, pour my blood, sweat, and tears into something to potentially step into the cage with someone who clearly has issues with substance abuse. So that means I could be doing it all for nothing. I mean, the payday might be great. Might be if he doesn't fuck it up for you. And as a promoter, I wouldn't want to spend money promoting. Sorry, I had an itch. Yeah. Promoting and advertising and dedicating, putting my promotion on the line for somebody who could fuck it up too. Yeah. I mean, I know there are a lot of promotions that don't care about, substance abuse and steroids and everything. But as a fighter, I wouldn't want him punching me if he's roided out.
Yeah, definitely. Well, just knowing that he's a cheater.
Yeah, and he's clearly like super naturally talented. I guess that's why I like DC too. He's obviously naturally talented, but when I look at DC, I look at someone who worked to get where he is.
Yeah.
And when I look at Jon Jones, like I see someone who has a lot of natural ability, and I'm not really sure if he actually is like does he appreciate that, or does he just know it and he like has that swag? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like he would,
that's why it's gross.
And even he said like the night before or the week of, he would just like go partying hard. So if he did lose, he'd, blame it on that. And I'm like, that sounds like such a 19-year-old thing to do.
Yeah, like how old are you now? Get over yourself.
It sounds like a 20-year-old problem.
Well, and that also means, again, it goes back to who he's surrounding himself by. Like, who's enabling this kind of like, like for sure get a sports psychologist on your team if that's your like thought process.
And plus, I mean, he could have someone on his team going, bro, don't do this. Like, let's just head back to the hotel, whatever.
Yeah.
But then Jon Jones could be like, nah, man, it's all good. It's all okay. Then that's the problem as well.
Maybe, but I mean, if I were anyone in his camp, I would be thinking, I'm gonna get a straitjacket and tie this bro down. Like,
yeah, true.
That's not your job to say like, oh yeah, okay, sure, everything's good. It's your job if you're in his camp to be like, no, we're staying in, we're eating grass-fed beef, and we're watching bullshit until it's time to fight. Like,
pretty much
on TV. I don't know. I just don't think there's an excuse when you're making the amount of money he's making.
At the same time, like I wonder what Jackson Winklejohn are going to do about it. Oh, emergency alert.
Oh.
Flash flood.
Sup, Harvey?
Yeah. So for those of you who are watching on the YouTube, this will be out tomorrow. We got a mad Hurricane Harvey coming through the Texas area. And it hasn't been that bad. I think, knock on wood, it hasn't been that bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was scared. Anyway.
But what is the camp said?
I wonder what they're going to do now. They got Jon Jones in this camp, and even when he got busted on that UFC embedded episode we were just talking about.
They were like, what?
They were like, Jon Jones is an adult, and I'm like, yeah, he is an adult, but
he's also one of your prize ponies.
Yeah, you need to tell him what's right and what's wrong. Yeah. Still, he's still a young kid. Like, I'm still a young kid. You're still a young kid. I reckon.
No, I'm 32.
Oh yeah, you're not a kid anymore.
And you're 30.
I'm still a kid. I'm still a kid.
Please.
I'm still young.
Well, in their release after this one, they were like, "Oh, we are shocked. Like, we worked so hard to avoid this situation." It's like, did you?
Yeah.
Like,
you work?
You kind of have to say that, I feel like.
Yeah.
I don't know. I wouldn't want to coach him.
Yeah. Done.
But I also, I mean, we've had a lot of conversations about like any kind of performance enhancing. I just have no patience for it.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I'm also not trying to go to the UFC. So I guess I don't. There's a lot of fighters out there who have like full-time jobs as well as fighting, and they're in the UFC. Like I forget her name, but she's like a bartender and she's a UFC fighter. Like, I don't know.
Who's that?
I forget. I was, it was on the Instagram
machine.
But it was just like, it's one of those things, here's this dude who is making so much money and has people like probably catering to his beck and call, and you're telling me you can't like sort your shit out. Meanwhile, there are people who are doing everything they can to take advantage of the opportunity and platform they have.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just gross to me. Gross.
Yeah. It shows how much the lower end makes.
DC for life.
That's craziness. Absolute craziness. Oh well.
Yeah.
What can you do?
Gross.
I wonder what does happen for him here on out.
I hope he's blacklisted.
You think so? I don't think
so. I think his name is too big. Unfortunately, there's too much money to be made. But
I agree.
For me, like, it's kind of like last night. If he's on a card, I for sure don't want to put any money towards it.
Yeah, I want to watch it for free.
Yeah, I will find the bootleg version. I will.
Yeah.
I just don't ever want to support anything he's involved with, and I hate saying that because I really like some of his teammates.
Yeah.
But I wonder what they think.
Yeah.
I would love to know what they think. But I also don't blame them for keeping quiet.
Yeah, I guess they have to be tight-lipped for sure.
Like, what does Holly Holm think? Her dad's a freaking pastor.
Yeah, good point.
Like, and I know that they trained a lot, like, together. So, what's up there?
I don't know, man.
I'd be so disappointed.
I'd be disappointed too.
Ollie's disappointed.
I wouldn't know what to do. Ollie's sitting, people who are listening, Ollie's right next to us on the couch. And if you are listening, you should watch the YouTube video so you can see our puppy. Our adult dog, because we've got 2 dogs. So yeah, Jon Jones, crazy shit. We didn't talk about it on the podcast, but I did want to touch on it. On Saturday, On Friday, we went to go see Sean fight. Sean, I forgot his last name. Fuck.
I don't know how to say it. I'll give you, and can you put the tag on the YouTube video for his Instagram? Yeah. I think it's Bonnit. Bonnet.
Anyway, it was Strike League promotion. It was in Round Rock. This venue was very weird.
It was such a weird venue.
It was a very weird venue. It was it was a basketball. So picture this for those of you who are listening. It was in a basketball court, indoor basketball court.
Yeah, and I think it was like 3 basketball courts like in a row. So it's like a big like sports center.
Yes, yes, that's exactly what it was.
But it was like sunk down in.
Yeah, it was huge. They didn't have any floor seating, but when they did, it was just VIP tables and these bleachers kind of just sitting
randomly
around. And then everyone was sitting on the top balcony, which is where most people were.
Yeah.
So the venue looked insanely empty,
even though it wasn't.
Even though it wasn't, there was heaps of people there. It's just too big. But yeah, went to the Strike League. It was in Round Rock. That's when the storm warning was coming through. So I was a little scared to drive out and drive home. But we saw Sean fight. He fights out of the GetOnnit Academy, Team Alpha Male, and another team that I forgot the name of. It was really cool to watch him because I only see him around the gym. And I've only seen pictures of his fights. So it was really fun to not only go, but to support someone that I know.
Yeah, and it's so funny because he's when he got into the cage, he's like so aggressive and like hyped up, and I've never seen. He's a really nice like quiet guy. Yeah. So
such a nice. Well, he's very quiet. He actually reminds me of my good friend Josh Boyack back in New Zealand. Just a quiet country boy, like farmer. But like he's the nicest man in the world. I mean, he was probably one of the first trainers to come up and talk to me when I was on it. Yeah. Yeah, he just wanted to talk, and I was like, this dude's cool. Even though he's super quiet, maybe an awkward fella. But
we're all awkward.
We're all awkward in our own little way. But nah, and plus his fight name is the Wild Man.
Yeah. So you're wearing a shirt right now.
Oh, I am. Yeah, this is his fight shirt. If you can see on the YouTube machine, wearing his fight shirt right there. He was nice enough to give two shirts to Megan and I. Which of course we were going to wear to support him. But yeah, he got the W by decision. It was a great night of fight.
No, it wasn't decision.
You sure about that?
Oh yeah, it was.
I mean the whole 3 rounds.
Yeah. Sorry, I was tired.
No, I was a little confused too. I was trying to remember that as well. I'm pretty sure it went to decision.
No, it was decision. You're right. I'm an idiot. Don't mind me.
But no, that was a fun night of fights. And then last night it was the Mayweathers and McGregor fight. Shoulder roll like Mayweathers. let me show you a little shadow boxing. If you don't know who that is, just YouTube Crazy Lokes. It's fucking hilarious.
And you're welcome.
Just YouTube it right now. I really enjoyed last night's kind of card.
I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed was it was the Englishman versus I can't remember his
There
name.
were some really good fights on there. I
Yeah,
thought.
I'm not really familiar with any of the boxers or anything like that.
Yeah, I don't know names.
But at that level, I just love watching the movement and the snappy jabs.
Oh man.
All their jabs are just so powerful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like I'm coming from a sport of Muay Thai, where I mean your jab is powerful, but it's more like a distance thing. I guess it could be the same for boxing, but no, I loved it. I loved it. Even though I was tired and I fell asleep at some points, I still was there. I was still there. I was in it. I was loving it.
Yeah, I couldn't get over it. Just like sorry, Molly, I haven't watched enough boxing. I enjoyed boxing, but I haven't watched enough of it. And last night was the first time in a long time that I've just like sat down and really watched it. And I just couldn't get over how like precise and powerful their punches were without like any energy being expended. Like that was just like their normal.
Yeah.
And it's just so different because in Muay Thai, I feel like Muay Thai is very like straightforward and, you know, power when you need it. Yeah. Power and speed are like two different things. But in boxing, because they've just focused on boxing, it's just so next level. And I was watching it and I was like, oh, I don't know because I've always said I wanted to try boxing and I was like, ooh, I don't know now. Maybe not. Nah, I don't want to die.
I definitely think you could do it well, you know.
Maybe.
But yeah, that card was nice. On it, Bang Muay Thai head trainer Alex Sanusian was nice enough to put it on. Megan gave him the idea of kind of planted the seed in Alex's head to show it at the gym. Is that correct?
I mean, yeah, because we all wanted to watch it together, but no one has a house big enough for us to watch it together. Yeah. So, you know, like you want to talk, you don't want to watch stuff like that with people who don't know what's happening because then you just get dumb questions. And I'm not saying that we're experts because clearly we didn't know things like we didn't know about the nose standing 8. Yeah. Which I'm sure we'll talk about soon. So we're not experts, but we have an appreciation for it. And I don't, I wanted to watch it. Mm-hmm. Whereas I feel like when you go to bars with people who don't really have an interest and they're just there for the spectacle, it's exciting for them, but that usually means that they are going to ask a lot of questions and they're going to want to talk and
well, that kind of happened.
Yeah. But you know what I mean? It's just different.
Yeah, it's just different.
Like with people of your own, like with your own interest, you can literally stop a conversation in the middle of a sentence to watch something and they understand it.
Yeah, no, I thoroughly enjoyed it. On it we're nice enough to put the projector on so all of us could go down and watch it. We fought the torrential downpour of the storm. Mm-hmm. We made it in one piece and we all sat inside, watched it. They had a nice smorgasbord of food going on. I think they blazed up the barbecue. I didn't have any of that, mate.
I had a little bit of steak.
Was it good?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't want to eat anything. I couldn't be bothered getting up, honestly. We bought camping chairs, not especially for it, but kind of at the same time for the event because I wanted to be comfortable. Ate my Pringles, ate my Monster soda. It was great. Monster Mutant soda. Watching the card, there was a guy with a furry blue hood and a furry blue shorts.
Those had to have been hot, right? Like they had to have been.
Well, they were on his the outside of his leg on his IP.
Yeah,
IP
but even the material in the front looked like neoprene. Like they looked really thick.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, do what you want. You're at that level.
Don't do that.
You're a professional boxer, but don't do that. And then I was falling asleep throughout the entire card. And that wasn't because I was bored. It was just because I was comfortable as fuck. I was so comfortable.
It's because you're an old man.
I'm an old man. And then when the McGregor and Mayweather fight came up, perked right up. I could not wait to watch that fight. McGregor comes out first, looking strong, looking healthy. And then fucking Floyd Mayweather comes out in a ski mask.
I forgot about that for a second.
He comes out in a ski mask.
I wonder what the thought behind that was.
Want to be gangster.
Is that it?
I don't know why he would do that.
It's like we know it's you in there.
Yep. He made $300 million from that fight. 300 million.
That's insane.
But yeah, I mean, you can wear whatever you want. You know what I mean? He wore a ski mask to the ring. That's great. Well done. I know another person who's worn a ski mask to the ring.
Oh, who?
Israel.
Oh. Izzy did it first.
Izzy did it first. I think so anyway. But no, the fight happened, and I mean, again, I don't know much about boxing, but Conor was doing great.
They released the scorecards.
Did they?
Mm-hmm. I was reading a little bit about it, and I guess it's a little weird because it almost looks like the judges were all seeing different fights because they were all different. And I guess like two of the judges basically like didn't give anything to Conor, and one of the other judges was gave some credit to Conor. I definitely think he did. I don't know. I'm not a boxer. I'm not a boxing expert, but I did feel like he should have gotten a few rounds. I feel like he did a great job considering compared to I think what people expected him to do.
Yeah.
It would annoy me at this point if, my boxing friends, continued the MMA's dumb and Conor's an idiot. And
honestly, and I was going into this fight, I was excited for it, but I wasn't at the same time because I was on both sides. I was on literally both sides. I think I was more on the side of McGregor winning, but I wasn't surprised if Floyd won.
Yeah, I think most people wanted McGregor to win, but kind of knew Mayweather was going to win.
Yeah.
I think people wanted McGregor to win for a few different reasons. I think everyone loves a upset. You and I have talked about how in my opinion, there was more to be gained for combat sports by McGregor winning.
Yeah.
And there's also, Mayweather's kind of not a great person. He's like a convicted woman beater, and I know people have issues with McGregor says racist things. I don't know if he means to be, though.
I genuinely don't think he means to.
Because in New Zealand, there's some weird racist conversations that happen, but they're not meant to be racist. I don't know how to describe it.
Yeah.
And I kind of feel like maybe that's the same thing that's happening there. Like maybe in Ireland. I don't know. And I'm not validating it.
No,
but
yeah. When it's funny because I think it stemmed from when McGregor was calling him boy.
Yeah.
At the first press conference. And I'm just so used to anyone calling that in New Zealand.
Yeah, and I think that's just an Irish saying. Because that's not a race thing in New Zealand, and I have a feeling it's the same way in Ireland. But I remember when he said it, I said to you, I turned to you and I was like, "That's not good."
Yeah.
But I know McGregor. I forget if it was when he fought Jose. I can't remember who it was, but he said if this was a different time, my family would have invaded your home and killed anyone who was unfit to work.
Oh my goodness.
And so that's a little savage. That's a little even if culturally you might say some inappropriate things, that's really fucked up.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
So I think I can see why people don't particularly care for McGregor either, but just from wanting to see combat sports continue to grow, I think there was more to be gained by him winning.
Yeah.
So
I think so too. But I loved it. I thought it was great. I agree that I thought McGregor had the first 3 rounds, and then by rounds 4, 5, and 6, I saw McGregor starting to fatigue a little bit.
Yeah.
By round 8, I noticed Conor was initiating the clinch more. If that's what you call it, when you go up, grab the guy, had double unders.
Yeah.
He had both arms under. I thought I could tell that he was just getting tired.
Yeah, so I just watched an interview with him 5 minutes ago, and he was saying that even when he was training and preparing for this fight, the middle 4 rounds were always the hardest for him. But then he would turn it back on at the end.
Get a second win.
Which is great and all, but can you really afford to do that if you're fighting someone like Mayweather?
Yeah.
But I mean, it's his first boxing match, so that's
at pro level.
Yeah, at pro level. Sorry, because he has boxed before. So you know, maybe that's, and it was cool because in the interview he basically said like, I want to do this again. He said it was really fun and that like he wants to like learn how to get better. And
wow,
so you got to appreciate that.
Yeah.
I feel like he was super positive at the end of it. Both of them were, you know, they gave each other props. Like even Mayweather said he was a lot better than he thought he was going to be. In the interview, Conor did say that he kept taking Mayweather's back. He kind of said because he was giving it to him, and it kind of sounds like Conor was doing that because he wanted to like show dominance. But also I think Conor kind of alluded to the fact that he felt like Mayweather was putting him in the position to do that to show that he like isn't a boxer. I think I was, you know, his accent can be thick sometimes, but that's what I was kind of reading into the interview with him.
Yeah.
That he was taking his back to like, because he could, but he also felt like Mayweather was giving him his back to like show his inexperience.
Huh.
So
interesting.
I think that's what I understood. I think I could be wrong in how I was like reading that interview, but that's kind of what I like gathered from what he was saying.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I thought it was great.
What I loved the most, that after every round, you could tell Conor was getting more and more fatigued as the rounds went on, and fucking Floyd went back to his corner, all good. Even had time to smile at the camera, and I was like 4th round or something like that, and he was just happy.
Yeah,
he was like all good. He felt good. He wasn't breathing heavy like Conor was. You know, had a bit of a sip of the body armor drink that he had.
Is that the brand?
Yeah.
That's so funny that you know that.
But I was like, he is egging him on, I think.
Yeah.
Throughout that entire fight, I was like, I think he's letting it go this long on purpose.
And he kind of said that in his interview. He kind of said
Really?
that his game plan, Mayweather kind of said in his game plan was to kind of let Conor like go for it for the first like few rounds, and then to slowly start turning it on. And McGregor even said that, you know, Mayweather's entire career has been training for 12 rounds, and McGregor's only used to training for, you know, 3, 5.
Yeah, 5 fives.
So it's just a little different. Yeah, I'd be curious to see what happened if McGregor continued to do some boxing.
I'd be curious to see what happens with the UFC now, because he's a 2-belt holder weight division champion, but he's saying that he wants to do boxing. So I wonder if he's going to put those belts on, like, you know, on what do you call it, on hold, or put that entire division in hold, in limbo, to see what's going to happen with that entire division.
I don't think UFC cares as long as they can make money off the opportunity.
Of course not. So, of course, UFC as a business is not going to care, but the fighters are going to be pissed off.
I know Lizzie went to Las Vegas last weekend, and she, you know, they have that big center for all the athletes now, and I guess whenever Conor would come into town, they basically like shut down that center and don't like any other UFC athletes in there, and they like build a ring for Conor, and like, so they clearly support what's happening. They're like, fuck it, we're gonna make millions.
Holy shit.
So you know, God save them if Conor ever tests positive for anything.
Yeah. I think he's smarter than that.
I think so too.
I think he's on a different level brain-wise. I think he's the first fighter in MMA to really think about it as a business. I mean, you can make the argument for like Tito Ortiz, Randy Couture, but Conor McGregor is the only first person to be at the age that he is, to make the money that he has, and to even contemplate getting out quick. Yeah. Like Tito Ortiz, he's still fighting. Like, you know what I mean? And I mean, Randy Couture has his gym, but he's not as relevant as Conor McGregor is. Yeah. Well, I mean, they also, you know, they're the OGs when the sport wasn't mainstream. Yeah, they are. So, OGs. You know, now it's a little different. You get a little more star power. So I can appreciate that. That's true. But yeah, I don't know. I also thought like last night was awesome because I was talking to Alex about, you know, if anything, last night was a success just because you had people watching boxing for the first time.
And that's really exciting. And, you know, MMA fans, non-MMA fans, boxing fans, non-boxing fans, it was a spectacle, and it drew eyes to the sport of boxing. And, you know, boxing has been suffering a lot. So hopefully this shows people that it's worth buying the fights and watching. And it's, especially for MMA fans, you know, it's so funny because so many MMA fans like hate grappling. Like as soon as they're like on the ground, they're like, "Ew, stand them up." It's like, well, if you really want to watch stand up, go watch some boxing.
Yeah.
Support some kickboxing events. Like
I hate that too. I hate when we were at Strike League and the people were like yelling, "Stand them up, stand them up." And I was like,
go to a kickboxing match if you want to watch that.
At the same time, I'm like, well, clearly this guy's not a fan because they're working right now.
Yeah.
Like I can see them work.
Yeah.
But that guy in the back of us was like, "Stand them up." I'm like, what are you doing here then?
Yeah.
Leave.
Yeah.
Watch a kickboxing fight. Watch a boxing fight. Fucking go to a fucking karate tournament or something.
Yeah. Well, and that's what I'm hoping, you know, last night for some people, they're like, "Oh man, I really enjoyed that." Maybe they'll buy the Canelo and Triple G fight now. You know, that'd be great. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
To see the sport of boxing kind of pick up some speed. And, you know, there's some amazing female boxers as well. Hopefully it'll get some overlap, and maybe we'll see some crossover athletes go both ways. You know, that'd be cool too to see. You just don't know when things like this happen. It opens up opportunities and for other people.
I think you're right about that. I think having this fight first, get people invested in it.
Yeah.
And then now next month they've got, you know, that next fight coming up, Triple G and Canelo. Is that right? People will be like, if they're really into that fight or the world of boxing, they'll be like, "Oh shit, who's this Canelo guy? Who's this Triple G guy?" Well, I'm gonna go on Google or YouTube or like look it up, and then you've got one person who was invested just because of that Mayweather versus McGregor fight.
It's kind of like, man, if you enjoyed that, just imagine if you get two like amazing boxers. Yeah, not that obviously they're amazing.
No, yeah,
but,
I know what you did.
But you know, if you get two boxers, like, well, how exciting will that be? Yeah, and you know, for me, like one of the reasons I've always wanted to box is because as a female fighter, there just aren't a lot of opportunities. So the way to get into the ring more is to do other sports. Yeah. So maybe we'll see more female fighters do some crossover into other sports, because at the end of the day, like, you don't fight to make money. I mean, some people obviously do, but especially for women, I feel like a lot of times you fight because you love it and you enjoy it and you want to test yourself. And maybe we'll see more people cross over into other realms because of it.
Yeah, I agree.
It'd be cool.
Yeah, I think it would be cool. Hopefully, anyway. Yeah. And this is the, I said on Instagram, it's definitely a once in a lifetime on this big of a scale. I remember James Toney came over to the UFC to fight Randy Couture. I mean, that was somewhat big. But, yeah. I mean, this is probably bigger, way bigger than that.
It's because the sports are bigger now.
Yeah, 100% sure. But I thought last night was great for combat sports in general.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all I want to talk about.
Yeah.
What did you think overall? I thought the conclusion of the fight, I definitely thought Mayweather had control of the majority of the fight. Like I said, I think Floyd let that happen. Like we kind of just mentioned it, but I definitely think that Floyd let all of that happen. I
think he did let it happen, but I think there were a few times when he was a little surprised.
Oh, of course.
So
of course, I think when he got there was one sneaky. I think it was in the first or second round.
Uppercut.
The uppercut. That sneaky uppercut.
Man.
Yeah, that sneaky uppercut. His jab was real powerful. McGregor's. We're talking about McGregor's right now. His jab was real powerful. Power hand was smooth. How he was moving and pivoting around the ring was great. And I think that was really not flustering him, but like making Floyd go, "Oh shit!" Like, okay, he's got some movement. But on the fourth, fifth, sixth, you know, for the rest of that, I think that's when Floyd was really like starting to ramp up, but slowly, very, very slowly. And I remember thinking to myself halfway through those later rounds, going, "Shit, he's like turning it on, and McGregor is in trouble." Like, where was this Floyd in the first couple of rounds? And then
he didn't need to be there.
Yeah, and in the back of my head, I was like, "This is he's." Let this happen. Yeah. Like, he's playing the game.
Yeah.
He's milking it for as much as it's
You would almost think that he'd had 50 pro fights.
Yeah.
And he knew what was happening.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
But no, I thought it was a great fight.
Yeah. I know a lot of boxers have said that they felt like the stoppage was good. I do feel like it could have gone a little more. Obviously there is no standing 8 in pro boxing. Now we know. But I did feel like, I felt like it could have gone a little further. I feel like slightly early.
Yeah.
And it was interesting. Jordan said, a smart boxer will take a knee. I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah.
Because then you take the point, but you live to fight another round by doing that. And you get 8 seconds to compose yourself. And I think, again, I think that shows that, if Conor did it again, maybe he would have a little more understanding of
initiate that.
Yeah. Of the kind of like rules of engagement. Because I didn't know that. I didn't know that until we were told that. So,
I think when Jordan did say that, I was kind of like, I wonder why he didn't do that.
I think probably inexperience.
Yeah, and in the moment, like he wouldn't have thought that. I think MMA brain may have taken over a little bit because if he went to the ground, it would have been game over.
Yeah, and that's kind of what in that interview I watched with Connor's, he kind of said like, I'm just used to like going until the person's like dead. Yeah. So he was kind of like he said that he thinks that the ref did a really good job, and it was pretty cool to see him like accept it, and that's something I do like about Conor. Win or lose, he always seems to be like, it's the outcome. And he kind of said like Mayweather is the better man on the night, and I think because they asked him if he thought it was early, and Conor said no, I think the ref did a great job. And I think though he did think it was like a little early, and maybe if he would have had that split second, who knows? We're talking about what ifs now. Yeah. Maybe he would have taken the knee. Probably not though.
Probably not. I don't think so.
It didn't look like he was thinking about that.
I don't think he was thinking about taking that knee anytime soon. I think he was really
gutting it out.
Just gutting it. Yeah. Just going for it. Yeah. Landing in those shots. But no, yeah. I thought that was great. Great end to that Saturday.
Yeah.
Saturday night fight.
Such a good weekend. Fights on Friday night. Fights last night, Game of Thrones tonight. Boom. I don't know what I'm going to do with myself on Monday.
Yeah, it's crazy. But that's all I wanted to talk about.
Yay.
Thanks for wanting to do this little podcast with me, bub.
Yeah, of course.
Appreciate it. And for all you listeners, I appreciate you listening too. If you enjoyed this podcast and you'd love it so much, please do me a favor if you haven't already. Go to your favorite dedicated podcast app and hit that subscribe button. Rate this show a 5-star show and review it in the comment section as well. Give me your thoughts. I'm always open to feedback, so do it. Please, I appreciate you. If you want to support the show as well, go to patreon.com/honorandconquer and see all the neat little rewards that you would get every time you pledge on a month-to-month basis to us. It'll be nice. And at the top of the show, like I said, if you want some friggity free Onnit products, go to honorandconquer.com/Onnit. And at the moment, they've got 2 free giveaways right now, complimentary giveaways of New Mood, my favorite mood, I guess, stabilizer or like calming.
Yeah, it kind of keeps you even keeled.
Yeah, even keeled supplement that I like taking before I go to sleep. You get a free 30-count bottle if you haven't tried it before. Just click that link. All you have to pay for is shipping, and it's only available in the United States. And next to that one is my new favorite pre-workout supplement is Shroom Tech Sport. It doesn't give me any jitters. It doesn't get me way too amped up. It just gets me in that perfect like mind frame for training. Keeps me focused. So yeah, click that link. Again, free 28 bottle count of Shroom Tech Sport. All you have to pay for is shipping, and it's only available in the United States. And I just remembered there's a 10% discount for Alpha Brain if you click the link right next to that one as well. I forgot about that. That's my favorite one to take almost every day for focusing and memory, helping me work. And Amazon. If you go to honorandconquer.com, scroll down all the way down to the bottom of the page, click the Amazon banner, and every purchase that you make, we get a little bit of a kickback from it as well. Okay, that's it. Podcast is done. Goodbye.
Bye. I gotta pee so bad. I almost interrupted.
You should have.
No, it's fine.